Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another beautiful day, Tuesday, November 3rd. We are continuing on with the breakdown. Excuse my finger, I gotta turn the sound off. We are continuing the breakdown of At Your Command by Neville Goddard. And we are on page 6. So let's get right into it. So the last paragraph, that's we got to continue on with that so that it continues on with what's on page 6. So your awareness of being is Lord and shepherd of your life. So the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want is seen in its true light now to be your consciousness. You could never be in want of proof or lack the evidence of that which you are aware of being. So you can never not forget who you are, because you always are. I am. Now, some of you may bring up amnesia. I haven't thought of that, so I'm not going to touch that topic. But you will always be I am. So this being true, why not become aware of being great, God-loving, wealthy, healthy, and all attributes that you admire? There you go. Why not become aware of being great? So instead of being aware of, being sad, or being aware of being depressed, or being aware of being angry, or being aware of, why not be aware of being healthy, being beautiful, being smart, being funny, being handsome, being charming, being abundant, being successful, being whatever you want to be? Why not be aware of that? And all the attributes that you admire. What kind of attributes do you admire? So think about that. Good morning. Bakhit? Is it Bakhit? What is your background? Where are you from? So yeah, let's continue on, but good morning to you. So this next one is very important. It is very important. It is just as easy to possess the consciousness of these qualities as it is to possess their opposites, for you have not your present consciousness because of your world. So it's telling you it's easy to possess all the good attributes that you want as it is to possess the attributes that you already have. But you don't have your present consciousness because of the conditioning that the world presents to you, or what you have been told. We are all told that, a lot of the same things. If you take me, for example, and move me to Japan, I would not be this talent. I would be a Japanese speaking, whatever over there. I wouldn't be the same. It just doesn't work like that. If you take me and put me in a different environment, I grow up. That's where a product of your environment comes from. And so it's just as easy to possess the consciousness of these qualities, so you're aware of being these qualities, as it is to possess their opposites. So when you don't have your consciousness and you possess the opposites of what you actually want, that's what you're going to get. So saying you want something and then actually believing you want something here and that you are something here, that's when the change happens. And you're not your present consciousness because of the world around us and what you look at, what you expose your mind to, what you allow to absorb. And then it says, on the contrary, your world is what it is because of your present consciousness. Simple, is it not? Too simple, in fact, for the wisdom of man that tries to complicate everything. Boom, that's huge. When do we not try to complicate things? There are things out there that are so easy, but we make it into a big, huge, it's not as easy as it's meant to be. And, now we're stuck thinking that things are a lot harder than they have to be. They are as easy or as hard as you want to make it. So if you're looking at something that's hard, what are you thinking? Oh, this is hard. This is hard. Granted, changing your mindset, depending on who you are, you can either grasp it or, it just depends. Depends on how badly you want to change. So yeah, too simple, in fact, for the wisdom of man that tries to complicate everything. We complicate absolutely everything. So it is just as easy to possess the consciousness of these qualities. And what it means by consciousness of these qualities, healthy, wealthy, handsome, smart, intelligent, all that type of stuff. You can possess those qualities. You just have to be aware of being them, if that makes sense. Okay, so next one. Paul said of this principle, it is to the Greeks, or wisdom of this world, foolishness, and to the Jews, or those who look for signs, a stumbling block. With the result that man continues to walk in darkness rather than awake to the being that he is. Man has so long worshipped images of his own making that at first he finds this revelation blasphemous. Since it spells death to all his previous beliefs in a God apart from himself, this revelation will bring the knowledge that I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I. You are one with your present conception of yourself, but you are greater than that which you are at present aware of being. So you are greater than yourself. And I had a good conversation with somebody I just had a good conversation with somebody, and they asked me if I believed in God. Now, I believe that we are created in God's image. So if there is a God, and God created all things, but I do believe in God, so there is one. But he created everything, so we're created in his image. So why can't we create the world in which we live? Just by changing our mindset. And that stems back to 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day, a study done by multiple universities. 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day, 80% are negative, 95% are repetitive. Your life will never change with that mindset, ever. It won't. It will never change because you're thinking about the same problems that you thought about yesterday, today, and so on and so forth. So it's just a continuing spiral. And then you have like little ups where you're good, and then all of a sudden you drop back down. But what happens if you're good and you maintain that? You constantly maintain that goodness. Do you think anything wrong or bad will ever happen? Now, I'm not saying you won't come across obstacles that will test your resolve or your conviction or to see where your beliefs are. But, those obstacles are just a stepping stone to improve you. You can say you're climbing the proverbial stairway to heaven by stepping over those obstacles, taking one step at a time. And it says, man has so long worshipped the images of his own making that at first he finds this revelation blasphemous. That's because we all believe in a God apart from ourselves. So, you know what? I need to think on this one a little bit more before I elaborate, because this one can be, depending on who receives the information and how they receive the information, it might touch a nerve that, so you know what? I will think and elaborate on that before I expand for everybody's benefit. But yeah, but you are greater than that which you are at present aware of being. So you're amazing. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's up to you. You got to find that. You got to do the work. You got to change your awareness Okay, next one. Before man can attempt to transform his world, he must first lay the foundation. I am the Lord. That is man's awareness, his consciousness of being is God. Until this is firmly established so that no suggestion or argument put forward by others can shake it, he will find himself returning to the slavery of his former beliefs. Okay, let's stop there. So that has to do with influences from other people. Because when you say I am something, when you say it here, and then you try to express it to say somebody else, they are going to do what we are conditioned to do because we base everything off of the five senses: sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste, right? We base everything off the five senses. So when people do not see and feel and touch and smell, they don't believe. So then they will say, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. But deep down, you know you are. So that goes back to go out and tell no man. So if your mindset isn't concrete and firmly established, like it says here, people will shake you off of your beliefs and force you back to the way you used to think before. And it happens. People are like, you just see it. We're so conditioned by everything that, when somebody says it has to be a certain way, it doesn't have to be a certain way. Right? It's like if I were to say, this coffee tastes good, or what's a good example? What's a good example? That's okay. Let's use movies. Movies is a good one. You could go to a movie and you could watch it and you can be like, oh, that movie was amazing. But you take another person, that person goes to the movie, they watch the movie, they don't like it. Right? So now you take the person that doesn't like the movie and you take the person that likes the movie and you split them up. And they go tell people about this movie. Now they're influencing people that may possibly like the movie, that they're not going to like it based off of that one person's opinion. And that's the power of influence, because now you're not thinking for yourself. Now you are allowing someone to tell you how something is without actually experiencing it for yourself. That makes sense? But if you have the person that enjoyed the movie, they're going to go and they're going to tell people, oh yeah, it was a great movie. I loved it. Blah, 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 whatever. Now those people are going to be like, oh, we should go check it out. But on the other side, that person that's telling the people that the movie's no good, those people are probably like, oh, but I really wanted to see that movie, but it's not that good. So now when you have that little bit of hesitation, you just need to stop yourself and go see the movie yourself and decide for yourself. Don't let somebody decide for you, right? You have to decide everything. Yeah, so until this is firmly established so that no suggestion or argument put forward by others can shake it, he will find himself returning to the slavery of his former beliefs. If ye believe not that I am he, ye shall die in your sins. That is, you shall continue to be confused and thwarted until you find the cause of your confusion. Thwarted. That's a funny word. When you have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall you know that I am he. That is, that I, John Smith, do nothing of myself, but my Father, or that state of consciousness which I am now one with, does the works. And that means it's not, to use me as an example, it's not me, Talon, doing the work. It's my thought process doing the work. I want a sip of this coffee. My thought, right? I am thinking, take a sip. I'm not saying, Talon, take a sip of coffee, right? Does that make sense? Is that understandable? Okay, next one. When this is realized, every urge and desire that springs within you shall find expression in your world. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and sup with him and he with me. The I knocking at the door is the urge. So whatever you desire knocking at the door is what you want to experience. So behold, I stand at the door and knock. So what is your desire? It's knocking at your door. And when this is realized, every urge and desire that springs within you shall find expression in your world. So whatever you're putting here will find expression in your world. So what are your thoughts throughout the day? And that's the thing about being aware. When you are aware of what you're thinking all the time, when you are constantly aware of what you're thinking, and the beautiful thing is that you don't have to think at all. You can just let go and be in the moment. You don't have to think about nothing. When I'm sitting here talking to you guys, there's times where I pause so I can get my words expressed correctly. But at the same time, when I do this, it just flows out of me. This is just flows out of me. I'm not reading a script. I'm not, I don't have what I'm going to say written down. It comes to me like that. And, I love it. I love talking about this stuff. More people need to understand the simplicity of this. But going back to paragraph number 36, too simple, in fact, for the wisdom of man tries to complicate things. And that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate that, when it comes down to that, we stop ourselves from progressing further in life because of that. Because we complicate things. Because, oh no, it can't be that easy. Oh, if I change my mind, my world won't change. Why not? Have you tried it? Have you tried to change your mindset and see what happens? That's the thing. When it comes to changing your mind and being what you want to be and you are aware of being, what do you have to lose? You got nothing. You got nothing to lose. So try it and see what happens. And look at situations differently. Talk to people that you've wanted to talk to, but you don't because of whatever reason. I talk to everybody now, saying hi and good morning and whatever else. How's your day going? Just talk to people and watch their mood change. It's amazing. You can brighten somebody's day just by saying, good morning or hello or how's it going? Just conversing with them. Okay, next one. The door is your consciousness. To open the door is to become one with that which is knocking by feeling oneself to be the thing desired. To feel one's desire as impossible is to shut the door or deny this urge expression. To rise in consciousness to the naturalness of the thing felt is to swing wide the door and invite this one into embodiment. So, whatever it is that you desire to be, you just have to, like it says, you have to you have to feel that you are the thing desired. So if you are healthy, you have to feel healthy. If you want to feel wealthy, you have to feel wealthy. Now, I know that's a very vague expression, and you're probably wondering to yourself, how do I go about feeling healthy? Well, what you do is you say, I am health. Well, what I do is I just say that and, just listen to yourself. When I say that type of stuff, I'm working out more. I'm just drinking more water, making sure I'm eating, lots of fruits and veggies, limiting sugar intake, that type of thing. So, I mean, it all just happens whether you're realizing that you're doing it or not. That's the biggest thing. Because sometimes what you're doing here and you're expressing out here, sometimes you're not correlating the two together. You're not aware that your thought process of being healthy is urging you to go get that glass of water, or urging you to, eat some more fruits and vegetables. Like when you open up the fridge, are you looking at the cake? Are you looking at, whatever else that you may have in there? I have cake on the counter and I look at it, but I want to eat it, but I don't. Instead, I just have a forkful and that's good enough. Satisfy my sugar urge. But, yeah, so it's kind of one of those things. You have to correlate the two. And one of the things is that you have to be the change that you want to see. Be the change you want to see. So if you want to be healthy and you want to feel healthy, then you have to be that change. You have to, I don't know. I'll have to think about that so I can elaborate on that a little bit more. I should actually write that down. Do. Okay. Okay, note made. Okay, next one. That is why it is constantly recorded that Jesus left the world of manifestation and ascended unto his Father. Jesus, as you and I, found all things impossible to Jesus as man, but having discovered his Father to be the state of consciousness of the thing desired, he but left behind him the Jesus consciousness and rose in consciousness to the state desired and stood upon it until he became one with it. As he made himself one with that, he became that in expression. I need to contemplate on this one. And put a star beside that. Nothing is coming to my mind right now on that one. Yeah, I gotta contemplate on that one a little bit before I continue on. Okay, so I will read the last paragraph on page 6 that continues on to page 7, and then that will be the end of the video. Okay, so the last one. This is Jesus' simple message to man. Men are but garments that the impersonal being I am, the present that men call God, dwells in. Each garment has certain limitations. In order to transcend these limitations and give expression to that which, as man, John Smith, you find yourself incapable of doing, you take your attention away from your present limitations, or John Smith's conception of yourself, and merge yourself in the feeling of being that which you desire. Just how this desire or newly attained consciousness will embody itself no man knows, for I, or the newly attained consciousness, has ways that ye know not of. Its ways are past finding out. Do not speculate as to the how of this consciousness embodying itself, for no man is wise enough to know the how. Speculation is proof that you have not attained to the naturalness of being the thing desired, and are so filled with doubts. And that's a big one, because, when you want something, let's use the example for me and my motorcycle. Now, I wanted a new motorcycle, so I sold my old one, but I didn't write out the steps to obtain that. It just happened. It just did. I would go and look at motorcycles at the stores. I would go and test ride motorcycles, that type of thing. And it just happens. If you're focused on the hows, you're focusing on not having the thing that you want. If you focus on having the thing that you want and not the how, then it'll come about. It'll just happen. And that's your choice whether you want to believe that or not. But just be patient, because like it says, when you speculate or when you question or when you try to find out how this will come about, you fill yourself with doubts that, because you're thinking about the how. So when you think about the how, you're telling yourself that you don't have it because you're thinking about the how. Well, how am I going to get this? How am I going to get this? Right? And then when you stop thinking about it, it just naturally comes. And I don't know how to explain that, for no man knows. For I, the newly attained consciousness, has ways that ye not know of. Its ways are past finding out. So that one's one of those ones that you read over and then you decide for yourself on what you think that means. I already know what that means, and that's individual based. Just as anything with what I'm reading, it's all up to you. There's no pressure for you to believe anything that I'm reading. There's no pressure for me to believe anything that Neville Goddard did. But going back to what I said earlier, is you have nothing to lose. And then you have many universities that have done studies, 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day. If 80% of them are negative and 95% of them are repetitive, your life will never change. That's just it. Why would it change? 20% of positive thoughts cannot defeat 80% positive thoughts. So if you switched it and went 80% positive and 20% negative, your life would be changed forever. Because now you're focused on the good. And, that just comes back down to it's just as easy to possess the consciousness of these qualities as it is to possess their opposites. For you have not your present consciousness because of your world. On the contrary, your world is what it is because your present consciousness. Simple, is it not? Too simple, in fact, for the wisdom of man that tries to complicate everything. And with that, I'm going to end this video because, when it comes down to this type of information, I don't look at this as religion based. I look at it as more of informative. And what do you got to lose? Try it and see what happens. Be aware of what you're thinking. What are you aware of being? And work at it every day. Work at it every day and just watch how things change. Because it's amazing. It's amazing how things change when you start to think for yourself and decide for yourself. Now, I'm not saying you don't do that already, but when you get rid of those conditioned thoughts and feelings towards certain things, that's when the change happens. Because I'm experiencing it. I have. So, that's the end for today. And tomorrow we will do page 7. And there's only 14 pages, so there's 7 more pages. The 14 is like a half page, so until tomorrow, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments or anything really, feel free to ask. I will do my best to provide information that can help get you to the destination you want to arrive at, or give you the answer. Or talking can help. Bring the answer forward too, because conversation, different viewpoints, right? One person likes a movie, one person doesn't like a movie. They go and tell people, those people don't. But when you get other people together and they talk about the movie, they talk about the things that they like, they talk about the things that they don't like, and then they come to a common ground that either they like the movie or they don't like the movie. So that's what talking can do. It brings forth new perspective from different thoughts and different people, because we are not all the same. We are all different. So, have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow.